y'all doing on this Wednesday? I might have to turn this air up just for a second. On how y'all. Ooh, I am burning up. It's hot outside. And I just left the gym. And I'm burning hot. I'm sweating. I'm sweating because I just left the gym. So I'm gonna turn this up just for a second, y'all, to let it cool off in my car. And I'm gonna turn it down because I am burning up. But how y'all doing on this Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. I promise that's how it be sometime. But I've been wanting to go on live. I didn't know if I was going to do a video about communication or if I wanted to go live. So I'm deciding to go live about it, and I still might actually do a video because I know YouTube likes videos. Hey Nicole. Hey hon, just leaving the gym. I'm hot. Sorry if you can't hear me. I had to turn on my air for a second to just cool off. But I ran, and I really don't like doing it, but I ran on the treadmill today for 4 minutes. I don't really like doing it because I heard that it's bad on your knees. Okay, you can hear me good. I heard it's bad on your knees. So I really don't like doing it, but I decided to, because I had a conversation with a family member, and it actually ran over. Thank you so much. I'm trying. Like, this weight, it's stubborn. But I work out in a fasting state. So what that means is I have not eaten anything since about 7:30 p.m. yesterday. I fast for 16 hours. I do this thing 8, so I fast for 16 hours. And so since I'm in here talking to you guys, I brought a shake, and this is vegan. It's a protein shake. It's vanilla flavored. It's a plant-based drink, and so I have one of these every day just to make sure I'm getting my protein intake. So when I had said that I was going to, shouldn't you be eating before working out? Well, I've tried both. So I tried eating before I worked out, and I was like so sluggish. Then I was doing more research, and a lot of the research said for women, like, it's good for us to fast. I mean, it's good for us to work out in a fasting state to burn more fat, instead of having your body use the carbs for the energy. Like, your body actually use the fat for the energy you need while you're working out. And so I've been doing that, and I actually have more energy when I work out in a fasting state than I do when I eat before. And it's like when I was eating before I would work out, like, I would be cramping up, even doing warm-ups and stuff. Like, I don't know, like my muscles or something, I don't think they would stretch or something, but I would like be feeling real beat up. So I've been working out in a fasting state for, yes. So I had this Dr. I think his name is Dr. Bird. He talked about the keto, which I was trying to do keto, but your girl loves carbs. And so I would say I do modified keto because I'm low carb. So instead of doing just 20 grams of carbs a day, which I feel like is like, how can you only eat 20 carbs a day? You can relate. Like, I love carbs. So right now, I think I hit the or 38 carbs. Like, strict keto is 20 grams of carbs. My macros right now, I try to hit 30 grams of carbs. I usually go to like 55 grams of carbs. And so I've hit that 38 grams not that many times, but I've hit it. And it was hard because it's like so much stuff that you eat, it has carbs. And basically what I had to do was like cut out anything that's boxed, anything that's basically prepackaged. So no anything basically in the frozen food section, you can't have it if you're trying to lower your carbs. So but I'm gonna drink right now. So I did hear, like, when you break, after you work out is usually the time that I break my fast. Like, I go home and break my fast. But since I knew I was gonna be on go live today, I'm gonna go ahead and drink. And anything with calories, I heard it breaks your fast. So even if you have like a sugar-free pop or something like that, and you only do liquids, if you drink a liquid that has calories, it will break your fast. So I just drink water all throughout the night, but really I don't be hungry because, like, I cut so much out of my diet, and I eat more protein and fat. And so when I had posted on my community tab that I was gonna stop eating dairy and meat, I lied. Well, I didn't lie, I changed my mind. I tried it for 3 days, and it's so hard to stay like low carb and get enough protein when you don't eat meat. Like, it's the base. I don't even see how people do it. Thanks for sharing that. I didn't know. I'm tired of this, I'm tired to like coconut water. Yes, it is so hard. I don't really like coconut water. I've had it one time years ago, and I haven't had it since. Yeah, it's so hard. So I'm like, there's no way I can not eat meat. Now, I did cut my dairy down like drastically. Like, I really don't even eat dairy. Maybe once a week, if so. But I really try not to eat it, and I just eat whole food. So if I'm gonna have chicken, I just eat, chicken. I don't fry it or nothing like that. I just bake it. You struggle with the carbs too, Miss Aretha? I struggle. Like, I didn't know how much I love carbs until I try to go. Like I said, I was trying to go keto, but I just have to be real with myself to know that I will probably never only eat 20 carbs a day. And so that's why I'm calling it modified keto or low carb, because like, I'm gonna stay eating my carbs. But I will say my how much I intake with my calories, I am like, I stay in between 1,000 and 1,500, which they said like that's good for women. I was like doing 1,700 to 1,800 calories a day when I first started, and then now it's like, with my eating windows, like, I run out of time before I get up to 1,800 calories. But I don't even be hungry. Like, I be forcing myself to eat the amount of food I eat just to make sure I hit at least 1,000 calories. So I was eating, I would say, like 2,500 calories, and that's really like what a man's supposed to be eating. So before I started my weight loss journey, I was eating like 2,500 calories. My carb intake was like 200 to 300 grams of carbs. I start fasting again at 7, and between 7 and 8. So I really like to, I have my meal at 7, and so sometimes it run over, but by 8 o'clock I'm done eating. So from 8 until noon, 1-ish, the next 1-ish p.m. the next day, I'm not eating. I'm just drinking water. And so I'm drinking this right now. And I'm gonna drink it down a little bit, and I'm gonna put some of this collagen in it. And so I'm really trying not to have loose skin, because they say that if you're trying to lose 50 pounds or more, like loose skin comes from when you're losing 50 pounds or more. I'm not trying to lose 50 pounds this year, but like I'm working towards that. So sticking with that routine is helping you lose weight. Yes, yes. Which I fasted before. Like, I actually love fasting. It just gives me more mental clarity, and it brings me out like my funk. So when I'm feeling like I can feel that depression creeping up, and just me being very emotional, me starting like fasting, it definitely helps. So right now it's for diet purposes, but I have fasted I made it to 14 days water fast, for spiritual purposes. That was the hardest thing I've probably ever did in my life. But after so long of you not eating, your body stop even wanting food. So this comes with a little scooper, so I'm gonna put this in my shake. Oh, it blew right in my face. Let me turn off my ear real quick. So yeah, so I mean, altogether, I think I want to lose like between 70 and 80 pounds altogether. So I don't know how long that might take. Might take a year, might take 2 years, but I'm just, by the end of this year, I want to lose 40 pounds. And so that was on my goal. That was what was on my goal. Now this collagen, it don't have no taste, but it stinks very, very bad. Like, it stinks. It just smell like, I don't know. It just don't smell good. And so I used to put it in my green tea. It doesn't have a taste. It just doesn't have a good smell. Let me see if it made my shake smell different. Yeah, it did. It smelled like, it just smelled like you went to a farm. Like if you went to a farm and you was running cows and the horses pooping and all that stuff, but then you smell like the flowers and the grass. Like, it just smells real earthy. It just smells real bohemian. I mix the collagen with my protein. Yep, that's what I'm doing. So this is a vegan plant-based protein shake. So yep, that's what I'm doing, Miss Aretha. This is my first time mixing it with this. I usually mixed it with my green tea, but see, so I can't taste it. So my shake still tastes the same. So yeah, it doesn't have a taste. And like, since this shake already has kind of an earthy smell, it's not as bad. But with the tea, I had seen a person doing it with tea, and so I was like, I'm gonna try it. And with the steam, honey, it's a no for me. It's a hard no for me. But another thing I do, yuck, it's real earthy, real mother of the earth smelling. But another thing I mix is my apple cider vinegar. So I usually try to do it before I eat my first meal. So I just left the gym. I have another bottle of water. So this is 16 ounces. I have a protein shake. Well, I'm lying. I usually don't have my I usually have my protein shake with dinner. But with my first fast, I usually break my fast with a smoothie. So I make the same kale, celery, and mixed berry smoothie every day, and that's how I usually break my fast, with the water bottle and that smoothie. to get my greens in. And so that's good. So I have that every single day. I'm gonna still go home and make it just to put my greens, get my greens in. And then I have eggs, just plain eggs and some type of protein. Which eggs are protein, but I have a meat. And so I'm really trying to always focus on getting my protein in, and I still be under the protein. I hit about 100 grams of protein around about a day. So between 80 to 150 grams of protein I hit every single day. When I had looked at the little macro thing, it said I should be doing like 200 or 220. Like I don't even understand how you can even hit that much protein. Is it okay? Because I'm like, that's like, it had the little thing, it said 200, but I'm like, how can I even hit that much protein? Like, because I'm fasting. So if I don't start eating till 12 or 1, once I eat my first meal, like I'm full. And what I also do is I have you know, like the little calorie-free seltzer pops, like by Ice. I think Ice is a brand, Bubbly, like all those kind of brands. Yeah, that's a lot. So all of those, like you know, those sparkling, those seltzer waters that's flavored, I put an ounce of 1 ounce of apple cider vinegar in that. And so those except the Ice brand, but the other pops that's like the Bubbly, the seltzer waters, they really nasty to me. But when I put that apple cider vinegar in there, they actually good. I had the ice cone, the ice ones. Yeah, see, the ice ones are so good. But the only thing that, like, I had, because I used to, like, always drink those. But for some reason, they made me, like, really, really thirsty. It's like I would just keep on drinking. I'm like, it didn't quench my thirst. And so I stopped drinking them just because of that. Because they were making me more thirstier, it seems like. But other than that, like, those are like the best, excuse me, I would say 0 calorie seltzer, like, water things on the market. Yes, I drink alkaline water. I don't go all deep in it, but I drink it. And then, you know, if you add a little bit of baking soda to your water, it makes it alkaline as well. For you guys who didn't know. So yeah, so I drink it sometimes. Either, like I said, I'll put some in my own water, make my own. If I feel like falling for the marketing tactics, I'll buy some. Hey, Nick, I'll buy some. But a lot of that water that you buy from the store that say alkaline is actually not alkaline. So it's best really to make your own alkaline water at home. If you really want to drink alkaline water, it's best to make your own at home. Yes, seltzer. That's what we were just saying about the ice. So my seltzer, what am I drinking now? I think I'm drinking the Bubbly. No, I got the Bubbly brand, and I got the other brand, the one brand that's everywhere that comes in the can. I put my apple cider vinegar in that. So I pour it out in a cup, and then I do 1 ounce apple cider vinegar in there, and it tastes so good. Like, it brings out the flavor, whatever flavor it's supposed to be. Like, it brings out the flavor of that seltzer water, and so I could just drink it down. It tastes just like pop. So that's a hack that I learned from YouTube, and that's the only way I could drink apple cider vinegar is putting it in my seltzer water. And it tastes so good. And so then, other than that, I'm just sorry about that, working and trying to listen to you. Oh man. No problem, no problem. So it's like work, you multitasking for real. So yeah, so then other than that, like the protein shake, the seltzer water that I have once a day, protein shake is once a day. Not supposed to drink vinegar alone. It can burn your insides going down. Yeah, so I get, so I mean, I would think that I'm diluting it with the seltzer water. I don't know how people drink that stuff alone. It could burn your esophagus and all of that. So the cans are like 12. So basically, it's been diluted in the cans of seltzer water. But it can burn. It can mess up your teeth, like all of that stuff. I don't know how people drink that stuff straight down. And the gummies, I ordered the Goli gummies. Was it last year? Probably 2 years ago. Supporting somebody here that was selling them or whatever. I had ordered like I could never go. I could never be right. You mix yours in water. Yeah, so I do the seltzer water, so it tastes like pop to me. See, I was trying to take the ACV gummies, the Goli brand, but they broke me out. And so I don't know if it's the pectin that's in them, because I have to be careful with like pectin, like the stuff that makes the gummy. Like even stuff that makes like jelly and all of that, you put the pectin in there to make it jelly up. Brands do, to make it shelf stable. Like I'm very sensitive to it. So the first day I had tried them, I had noticed like my throat felt kind of sore, like it felt itchy. And I was like, I cannot believe I'm about to get a cold. And the cold didn't come, but when I got up, or as the day progressed, like my eyes were very, very itchy. And I still didn't think it was them. And so for 3 days straight, because I was taking them once a day, so I was taking them for 3 days straight. To the third day, around my eyes, like, because my eyes are so sensitive, they the first thing that start acting up. My eyes were itchy, like my lips had started swelling up, like I just was having such a bad reaction. So I stopped taking them, because I'm like, that's the only thing that I feel like is new in my diet. So I stopped taking them. I started taking some Zyrtec, and then it took like almost 2 weeks for basically my face and stuff to go back smooth. About a week. It took like a whole week for my face to go back smooth, for my lips to go down and everything. And so I literally have 6 bottles. Well, I ordered a 6-pack because I can't never do nothing. Like when I support people, I wanna support them to the fullest that I can at that moment. So at that moment, instead of just me buying one, like I could afford to buy a whole like 6-pack. And so the 1-pack, of course, is open, and I'm only taking 3 gummies out of there, and then the other 5 is unopened. And so I emailed them, because I'm like, oh man, like I don't want to, which I still don't know if they took her commission back, because I worked on commission before, and I know if somebody returns something, like they take it out of like your next paycheck. So I'm like, I don't want to do it, but that was like $70, and I ain't able to use none of this. And so I had emailed them and sent them an email, and they asked like what was I told them I had an allergic reaction to it. They asked me what was the allergic reaction, and I had told them and everything, and I said, so I'm not able to, use it. I didn't see any type of like how to start the process of returning, so I can return you Yes, they are very expensive. So I'm like, I'm not about to, if I can't use them, I'm not about to just sit. I want to support you, hun. I support you with something else, but I gotta return those back. And so I was like, but I didn't see how to start the return process. Like I was, trying to get a shipping label so I could ship them back. 5 of them were open. They brand new. It had to be 2 years ago, because they was like, it was in the mix of COVID. So they was like, yeah, we in the midst of COVID, so you actually can, just keep them, and we're gonna refund your money. So you have your money. It was quick. They said 7 to 10 business days, but I think it came, like, she was processing. She said she had processed the return on the email. She ended up emailing back like, your return has been processed, and my money was back on my card, I think, in like 3 days, and I got to keep the bag. I got to keep the box. So actually, the refund was more. The refund was like, I think, $160 altogether or something. I know it was over $100 because I not only bought a 6-pack of the goalies, I bought a 3-pack or a 6-pack of the ashwagandha ones as well. And so I was gonna return back both of those, but they ended up giving me my money back, and I got both of those. Yet they were so, like, I wish I could use their product just because of the customer service and how quick it was. Like I said, they didn't have the return customer service number or anything on the site, but they had an email address on the site, so I emailed them. And so, like I said, I got a brand new it's either a 3-pack or a 6-pack of the ashwagandha, but I know I got a 6-pack of the goalies because that's what the ACV, because that's what always get promoted. So I had got a 6-pack of those. So I'm like, I know I'm gonna like them. I'm about to just be on them. They're gonna be part of my daily. Let me go ahead and get a 6-pack. I'll be good for the year or whatever. And no, I'm just like, man, I'm always like, it's really frustrating being allergic to so much stuff, because I can't even be in with the trends. Like, I can't even be in with the popular stuff because I'm allergic to everything. It's really irritating sometimes. So, but yes, I wasn't able to take them. And so I didn't even try the ashwagandha. Man, the cold, like, man, I promise, this is just I've been literally going through this my whole entire life. It's just like, before people actually start to be around me and know me, like when I get new friendships or I'm in a freaking, they start being around me and I eat something or try something new, and I wake up the next day and like a completely different person because my eyes are swollen up, my lips are like, it's like, what happened to you? Are you okay? That's when, like, people believe me and stuff. They were like, you allergic to everything. Or if I told you not to buy scented laundry detergent, but you bought scented laundry detergent, and then I go ahead and wear it, like I'm just gonna go to the store, and I come back and then I take off my shirt and like my arms and stuff is covered in hives, and you like, what happened? I'm like, I told you I cannot use scented laundry detergent. Like, I can't use Gain. I can't use that stuff. I'm like, I'm just thinking I was just gonna run to the store so I can basically rewash all the clothes in the house. And so it was just like, man, you can't have nothing. So that's why couponing didn't work for me. So when I find something that works for you, you have to stick to it. Exactly. Like, everything is the same. So yeah, so I'll be kind of houses like, what? So that's a whole thing in itself when it comes to dating and being in a relationship. Like, I'm kind of, I don't want to say handicapped because it's people that's like really handicapped, but I have, like, where a man can wake up and they know that, oh, she ate something she wasn't supposed to, her lips was swollen. Like, my child's father, he didn't know I was allergic to he knew I was allergic to fish, but he thought that I was just allergic like by eating the fish. Like he thought that I had to eat the fish to like break out and stuff, because you know that's what most people like assume when you say you allergic to food, like that you have to actually ingest the food. And so I guess his mama had cooked fish or whatever, and she had cooked. He came home, he kissed me, and literally like 30 minutes later, my lips like were like this big, and I had to go to the emergency room. And he actually told on himself and told me that, oh, I had fish, like dang, I forgot. And I'm like, no, like you have to come on in and brush your teeth, like wash your whole face, like wash your clothes, change out of your clothes, like all of that. Sorry, I was getting a call. But yeah, you have to do all of that. And that's when he was just like, he just couldn't, like he just was like flabbergasted, like unbelievable that a person is this sensitive and allergic to stuff where you can't even have it on your lips, like you can't even have no grease residue on your lips. And so that's, you know, that's kind of one of those things, like when I'm in a serious relationship, well, if they around me a lot, like if we around each other, they know that I'm like, because I always say I can't have that, I'm allergic. So I always say that, and then they'll be like, dang, you allergic to everything. But I would say like the first time I have a reaction, like definitely be embarrassing. Like no matter how long that I've been with a guy, like having a reaction and like your eyes swelling up, and it look like you done got two black eyes, you know, they swole up big, your lips swole up, and like knowing that that's like it's gonna go down before the next week or 2 weeks, they gotta look at you, you can't go outside, like you gotta wear a suit, looking like real crazy. Like it's definitely just a mess. Yes, I cannot imagine that. It's like it be so embarrassing, or knowing like that you went walking in the park, like they try to do something cool where, you know, we sit out and have a picnic. Surprisingly, I have never had allergic reaction to something. Oh man, you so blessed. You are blessed. So if you Nicole, if you got a gratitude journal, write down every single day. If you ain't got nothing to be grateful for, write down every day that you ain't never had an allergic reaction, because that's something to be grateful for. Because I didn't have so many, from the time I've been born, I didn't lost count. But yeah, like for a guy to, you know, oh, let's have a picnic and all of that stuff, and right. And the next hour after y'all did, like, you know, been in the grass and all that stuff, you all broke out, your eyes bloodshot red, looking like you didn't smoke the whole, you know, dub, and you don't even smoke. But it's like, dang, your eyes bloodshot red. And so in school, I was always like, people used to be like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is school is so horrible because kids is so mean. But in school, my eyes were either red or yellow. Either they was red because I was going through some kind of allergic reaction, or they was yellow because I have like an eye condition where I always had to go and get x-rays on my eyes. And so the drops they put in your eyes to make your eyes like glow and to get an x-ray, it turns the white of your eyes yellow. And so so my eyes were either yellow or red. If they wasn't none of that, then they were swollen, because, you know, we had recess, and then we didn't have recess, and you start going to high school, you got every single girl that want to wear all this Bath and Body Works stuff, lighting candles. Like, I always had to be in the classroom. Now, if y'all these girls, if y'all one of these type of girls, I got a bone to pick with y'all. But I always had to be in the classroom with the girls that had a purse. This is my book bag. They had a book bag, but it was they purse, like a purse the size of a book bag. They had their comb in there. They had hair gel in there. They had some candles in there, a lighter to light the candles. They had frilly stuff to put on the desk. They had lip gloss and perfume, and they just sit at their desk and do all of this stuff. And it's like, girl, we gonna be going to the next period in a minute. Like, we switching classes. Why do you have all of this? And then now I gotta suffer because you got your is it Bath and Body Works sell candles too? But you got your Bath and Body Works stuff. I forgot the candle thing. You got all of this stuff lit. My allergies just sitting there just flaring up minute by minute. Like, and so by the time I leave that class, I look like a completely different person. Nicole, was you that girl, or was you that girl that had all that stuff, or did you have a girl like that in your classroom? Because, honey, I'm like, lunch, you gonna sit and have a snack, like, it's just ways. And the thing is, you ain't doing no work during the classroom. I'm sitting up here trying to do work. You know, I was an honor roll student, so I'm sitting up here trying to focus on my work. I can't do work because all this stuff is in the air. So one of the teachers like, excuse me, Miss Johnson. No, I seen it in class too in class. Excuse me, Miss Henderson. No, that's a teacher. Excuse me, Miss Johnson. That's a student. Miss Johnson. Can you please do that after class? Trying to be too cute, honey. And it's like, the boys is just like, damn, you got some Cheetos in there. Like, you got some that's like that. You got some that's not even paying no attention. But girl, you trying to be so cute. And really, they only want to see if you got snacks in your bag. Like, man, what you got in there? You got snacks? Oh, they got drinks, they got pops. Like, you got that person. Like, I promise, school, the public system for it's like me, like, you know, I just hated to go to school because, you know, I was an honor roll student, and like, it was just basically I was stuck in a classroom with people who didn't want to do nothing, like, my whole entire life. So I always end up having to be the tutor. Like, Miss Robinson, would you mind helping Miss Johnson with her work? I'm like, Miss Johnson been filling through her purse for the past hour. She don't need no help. She needs to read the paper. But I'm just like, yeah, I'll go over there just to be sitting over there. She's like, girl, you want this payday? You like paydays? I got a payday. No, I'm allergic to peanuts. Oh, okay. You allergic to peanuts? Oh, that sucks for you. Girl, did you try? You got this new my mama let me go to Victoria's Secret this time. You got this new perfume. It just came out. This is a good smelling kind. It's the kind of get the boys. You want to smell it? No, my allergies is already flaring up. Dang, you got allergies with perfume too, girl. Then they sitting there putting on lotion, and they got the pen. This is my lip gloss. They got the pen with the little fluffy stuff on it or whatever, and they writing, and they gotta write their name or the gel. That's when the gel pens was out. So now you can't even write your name regular on the paper. You gotta sit here and write you gotta write a different letter with a different gel color. So now Johnson, J is green. Yeah, high school days. J is green, O is purple, all this other kind of stuff. You got the notebook with the scented. I need a scrap piece of paper. It's scented. You just, girl, you smell it. Look, I can smell it. Smell this paper. I'm supposed to be over here tutoring you. You are so distracted, girl. High school days, I'm just like, you got the boy who's selling candy. He got everything. He got the whole king size stuff. He hustling. He got pops. He got all that stuff. He don't even supposed to be in that classroom. Yes, the jail piss. The boy who ain't supposed to be in the classroom, he waited till the teacher is he waited until she had to go over. He sneak in or whatever. He said he sell his little to do. I got that. You got the dollar. Da, 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 and then he head on out. Then she, Mr. Anderson, what are you doing? Don't you supposed to be in Mr. Rogers' class? Is this your class? Hey Tara, we clowning, we reminiscing on the high school days. Mr. Anderson, this is not your class. Please go to your class. Okay. I'm out. I'm out. So then you got him. Then you got the little, like, my school was hood, so we got the dogs that used to be coming, sniffing lockers, because you got the boys that's there that's selling more than candy bars. So we got the dog sniff. That's when you can't switch periods. You gotta wait while the dogs sniff the lockers. Man, we probably went to the same high school, man. I promise. Kids. So yep, you got that dude. You got the one dude who he be coming into class, but he came to class really just to disrupt the class. Like, he walking through the hallway, the only time you see him go into a classroom is really to disrupt it. You don't even know, like, his actual schedule, because he literally goes in whatever classroom he want to go in. He don't even, like, he just do whatever he want to do. And so he the ones where the teachers really don't say nothing to. Like, he get away with bloody freaking murder, and you don't know why. Like, he the one who got the house arrest. Man got the same like clout as the like people who play football or basketball. They could do whatever they wanted to do too. And so I used to just be clicking down the time. Like high school, I really did not like high school. It wasn't about school where everybody just was doing whatever they wanted to do. And I could say I never was the type of person who had like a clique. Like, I always like could converse with everybody. Like, people knew I was the smart girl or whatever. Yeah, I'm just reminiscing. People knew I was like the smart girl, but she cool. Like, she really hood, but she just preppy for some kind of reason. And so me, like, being preppy, being preppy or talking, more proper, I guess, English than the rest of them, they would just think that I was stuck up. And then once people would get to know me, like, oh, you cool, like, oh, is so-and-so your cousin? Oh, so you from the ghetto, like, you from the hood. Yes, I know you was a smart girl, quite quiet type. Yes, I was, Nicole. And it was like, it sucked really, because I had to be stuck being a tutor. Then I had to be adaptable, I guess. So like I said, I hung with everybody. I hung with the if you and Nicole could go back in time, would you go back to high school day? Hell, absolutely not. Nah, I dropped out. I said, I'm tired of high school. I was just so tired of high school. It was just so stressful for me. No way, Tara, for real, Nicole. Like, I wouldn't. I dropped out. I said, I'm turning 17. I could drop out by myself now. I don't need my mama to, sign for it. So she was like, my mama, she didn't care. She was like, well, what you gonna do? I said, I'm going to get my GED. Yeah, so I dropped out. But the good thing, like, I did want to, like, I knew education was important, so I dropped out, and then I enrolled myself into the GED program. And I took the little pre-test, And she was like, oh, you're ready, like you don't have to come to class if you don't want to. She was like, no, she was like, we got a mandatory of 2 classes that you have to come to before you can take the test or whatever, but you're ready to take the test if you want to take it. I was like, yeah, when's the next date I want to take the test or whatever. And so she told me the date, and then like the next 2 classes I was still being a tutor, like because now I'm 17, or I think I had just turned 18 because I was getting ready to turn 18. So now I'm 18, and everybody in the class, of course, is older, like they in their, 20s and 30s and 40s because it's the GED program. And like, I literally had just signed myself out of, high school not that long ago. Like a few months, I had needed just a mental break. So high school was horrible. I was going through so much just mentally, like not knowing where I fit in. Like I didn't really fit anywhere. Like I had told y'all before, like we moved every single year. So like as soon as I always had to be the new kid. And then I was the new kid with allergy problems and not being thin like the other girls. And then being, speaking like more preppy, because I used to speak like really, really preppy because I had, like, when we had moved one time, I had went to an all-white school, and I was there for like a year and a half. I was there for 1 year, and then we had went to a, then we stayed, and I went there half another year, then we ended up having to move. And so I talked, what you would consider, I guess, white, because it was more proper English. And so I talk like a valley girl. And so now, like, even with me saying like, I didn't used to say that until I got in, what grade was that? Like 7th grade. And that came from me being like around them. I keep on saying that came from me being around people who said like. I came in late. Was it bad memories? No, it really wasn't. It's just memories. It's just memories, not bad. Just funny, like just like when you look back and you see stuff that like frustrates you when you 16 and 17. Like if I could probably, I would, let me see. So your question now, Tara, would I go back to high school? I wouldn't want to relive the whole high school days, I don't think, but I would want to actually graduate with my actual high school diploma. Like I would like tell myself to just toughen it out. You're extremely intellectual skill. Still, when I listen to you, it just flows, girl. So going to school is not for everybody. Thank you so much, hun. And that's why I was like, when I was in school, I'm like, what am I here for? Like, the teacher needs to put me on payroll because I'm constantly being the tutor. And then even when I had went to my GED program, when I had dropped out and I had enrolled myself into the GED program so I could at least have that. Basically, I ended up being a tutor the 2 days. Like the teacher was looking for me the second day. Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. Would you go back to? Are you agreeing on you wouldn't drop out? I think that's the only thing. So I was tutoring in the GED program. Like the teacher, she was explaining something, and like nobody in the class was getting it. I was already done with my work, and so she was like, do you got everything, Christian or whatever? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. They was like, oh, you agree with Tara? Oh, thank you so much, Nicole. So the person who I was sitting next to, they was like, oh yeah, she know how to do it. She helped me because I didn't know how to, like they very extroverted. I'm not extroverted at all. So they like, but sitting by me, a person just like one-on-one, like I will, I talk, I'm friendly. So they had needed help. So, I was helping. They like, oh yeah, she did it. Like she know how to do this work. Like honey, like she was an older black lady. She was probably like 40. She was so funny. She was like, honey, you got it or whatever. And yeah, she on it. She don't even need to be in here. And but she helped me. And so the teacher was like, do you want to come up and show everybody like how you help with the problem? Like maybe you can explain it in a different way that they, that people not getting it from me explaining it. So I stood up. I'm like, oh my God. But thankfully, since it was only like maybe 9 of us in the class, and I taught them the lesson on how I get to the math problem and stuff. And so then everybody like started, understand the math. And so the next, because we went Mondays and Wednesdays. So that Wednesday, like basically the teacher was like, oh, you don't have to do no work. Like this is what we doing today. Like, is there anything you want to write on the board to maybe help people? And I'm just like, I don't want to teach. I don't want to be a tutor. I just want to be the student in the classroom. Like I just want to just fit in the student category. And so like I never got the chance to like just fit in the student category. Or did they have the option back home to drop out? Our parents still use a belt on us in high school. Oh, y'all didn't have the option? Yes, we had the option when we turned 17. Wow. It was some parents who still came and used their belt, but America, I would say like America, they ready for their kids to get out. Probably where you at, like they ready for you to have your education, like get married, like learn, like either if you gonna have kids, like be all the way domesticated, or like really go to school. Like school, when you in other countries, like school is very important, and having like that doctor, lawyer, those kind of job titles are very important. But like here in the US, especially if you grew up, black, regular, low income household or whatever, it's like okay, you ain't gonna go to school, okay, you gonna get a job. Even pregnant girls had to finish school, but honestly we finished at 16 unless we had to repeat a grade, to be honest. Oh, okay, so y'all so y'all go to school young and finish early. And so but that's good though. That's good. I would say like, how they say hindsight is 2020. So it's like sometimes like even with me raising my son, like I want him to finish school. Now I know college is not for everybody, but I want him to have a trade or something. Too much school here, Jesus. Oh man. So that's why they really like, if you go through, they looking at school like this gonna set you up to get a good paying job. Like not just no average job. You gotta go to school to be a lawyer or a doctor. So you still gotta go through 8 to 10 years of more college. Yeah, they like, you ain't gonna go to school, Nicole. They like, you ain't gonna go to school. Well, McDonald's hiring. I'll take you to McDonald's Monday or whatever. Here go your social security card. Because once you about to be dropping out of school and all that, you grown. So here go your social security card. Here go your birth certificate. You better not lose it, because you're gonna be going down to the social security office to get another one, and it's gonna charge you. But hold on to your stuff, because I'll take you up to McDonald's. I'll take you up to the convenience store on Monday so you can fill out this application, because they ready for another person to start helping pay bills. So you really going to work is a waste. Like they tired of having to buy school clothes and all that stuff. It's like more of a financial burden. So now when you say that you ready to drop out and I'm just gonna give me a job or whatever, like they're like, okay, well, so-and-so hired, or you come down to the warehouse for me, or what, like it's just more so like that. That's what you're trying to teach your oldest. Yes, like it's like that. So it's like to have a parent that's like, I want you to go to school because school is gonna set you up for success. Like to graduate high school. Like, I know college is not for everybody, but education is for everybody. Like, I was just having a conversation with my little cousin. She's 20, and at first, like, she was kind of defensive when I was talking, like, but as we talked, I was supposed to be working out, but I ended up sitting down and, just felt like I needed to really explain some stuff, just try to help her develop, through her self-awareness and different things like that. So as we spoke, she was like, wow, like, you was calling for a whole different reason. I'm so glad that I listened to you. Like, you really, like, just helped me so much. Like, you just helped guide me. Like, I just been sitting here, like, praying, like, not knowing what to do, and you called for a whole different reason. I'm so glad that, I took the time out to actually listen and all of that, because you broke down, like, where I could understand them, and, like, you so right, and you so, and she texts me and stuff like, I love you so much. Like, she was like, you just, like, unique, and just how you was just able to express what I needed to hear at this moment. Like, it was really a blessing, because I don't have people in my life that really care about what I'm doing as far as with my life. It's like, go get a warehouse job or whatever, and so, she was very grateful, and I was just grateful to actually be able to pour into her, and just because if I was 20, like, it's a whole bunch of stuff that I would do differently. If I But I know that I did not have as strong of a will as I do now. Like, I really was a people pleaser, and so with that, you even try to please your parents, you try to fit in, like, you try to do so much stuff that's not really you, but everybody else is doing it. So it's like, if everybody else is doing it, and if the people older than you, that is your parents or your guardian or whatever, they saying this is what you should do, then you just think this is what you should do. Like, you never see anything else, you don't know anything new. And so, even though it feel like I want more out of life, like, this just don't feel like me, then it's just, it's hard to have that strong will. Want to drive now, I'm still listening. Yes, Tara, don't text to drive. Right, Nicole? It's so hard. So, and so that's even what I was telling her, like, because she's like, I don't see people doing this. I don't see people talk about dreams and talents and all of that. Like, I know, like, I think it's a such thing as gifts and talents, but, like, I don't know, because I never had nobody talk to me like that. Like, I never had nobody say, what's your gift, or talk about your talents, or what's your passion. Like, nobody never, like, have talked to me like that before, or has even expressed that. They say it's a down hiring sign. Go at any down hiring sign and you work and you pay bills. As long as you get money, why are you caring about a passion or a gift? And so I know how that feels, to be like, to kind of be stuck, and to, like, know that it's different things you want to do, but to actually understand that they're not unrealistic, that you can do them. They just abnormal for the crowd of people that you're around. Yeah, they just abnormal for the crowd of people you're around. But once you start to learn more yourself, and with doing this, you have to get out of people pleasing mode, because you're not gonna get a congratulations, you're not gonna get a huge support, you're not gonna get a pat on the back, like, because everything gonna be so foreign. So, me, like I said, trying to be the people pleaser, trying not to have, oh, she stuck up, or she a goody two shoe, like, all this trauma in school. And it's like, now you go through your life and you trying to change and stuff, and it's like, now you got to deal with the people who say, is she a goody two shoe, is she stuck up, is she? And it's like, no, like, this is just me, and I'm down to earth, and even though I ain't sitting popping back liquor, like, I hang with you drinking if that's what you want to do, like, you could elevate and still be down to earth, like you could still be humble and all of that stuff. And it's like I never experienced that either. I experienced people who, what you would say, made it out, and then when you try to talk to them people on like how did they do it, that's just who you are. Yes, Nicole, like that's just like who I am. With, I was basically raised with my grandmother until I was like 10, and then I moved with my mom full time. So it's like just being down to earth, old soul, all of that stuff. Like, I sit around my grandma all the time. And so all like a lot of stuff that I like as far as music and everything like that is from my grandma. And when it comes to like being humble, and you treat people based on their character, you don't treat people based off what they have, and or where they live or whatever. Like you don't go in somebody's house and be like, oh, she trifling or whatever. Like, no, you ask them like, hey girl, like what, you need some trash bags, like I'll help you, clean up or whatever you want to clean up. Or you just sit there and you shut up. Like, but you don't have to like push objection on somebody based off how they choose to live. And it's like you can have your own opinions about it, but like it's just not polite to press your opinion on somebody else if it's not even something they want to do. But once you ask me my opinion, or once you talk to me, or once you around me so often and you trying to be in my circle, well then you gonna hear my opinion. Then you gonna hear my opinion. You gonna hear my opinion with love. Like, it's not people like like Nicole and Ava and Tara and Jay Dunn. Like, when I see all of y'all like come on my comments, like I'm gonna express how I feel, because I feel like y'all in my circle. Like, so therefore I'm not gonna be like, oh no, like I know this, but I'm not gonna tell them. Especially if it's something to elevate, like anybody. Like I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna say it. And then if it's like an opinion, I'm gonna say, well, yeah, this is right, but maybe it's how you said something. Like that's just how I am. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Or maybe you didn't really need to say it, because I'm sure the person knows. So girl, you wasting your energy, you wasting your breath, because the person already know that they a hot mess. And so like that's just what kind of person I am. And so sometimes they could be annoying, because like if we was like actually around each other every day, like you'll be like, every time I try to talk to her, like she always trying to elevate somebody. Like, I just want to live in my mess right now. But when I love you, I can only allow you to live in mess so long. Like, especially if it's something that I've overcame. Now, when I don't know it like the back of my hand, and I haven't overcame it or dealt with what you're going through, then I'm not going to speak on it. Yes, you definitely keep it real. Like, I just try to not have, no facade, no persona. Like, I am who I am. Like, and I can't, I got flaws too. I'm a little bit ghetto because that's how I was raised. I'm a little bit hood, but I'm intellectual. Like, and every day I'm trying to be better. So it's nothing like where I sit and can have like a persona, and I don't know how that's gonna hurt me or help me as I develop more in my business with YouTube and stuff like that, because I don't have a persona and I'm very transparent. So some stuff I'm learning to like not be as transparent with some things to the open public, like, but to a small select few. But at the end of the day, I just feel like everything is a teaching moment. So no matter what I'm transparent on, it's somebody who have been through it or who have felt that same way or whatever, and they looked at me like, if she can be vulnerable to say that, then then I can be vulnerable too. And so I've made a choice to just you had those girls who look pretty on the outside, but then once you start to get to know them, like, you just like, wow, man, you so broken. Like, you just so broken. Like, they mindset will come out their mouth, how they treat people, how they so judgmental, but everything in their life is in shambles, but they judge everything everybody else do. And it's like, we all human. Like, at the end of the day, like, we make decisions, bad and good. That's part of life. And so, those kind of people, I just don't be around for too long, because it's like, you never know until you put yourself in somebody's shoes. You never know why they made the choice that they made, because you was not in their shoes. And so unless you actually walked a mile in their shoes and you woke up in their shoes every single day, you can't judge them as the person that they are today. You can't, you can't say, oh, never me, or talk down on them. Like, you can't do that. You have to be the light. You have to be, the shoulder. Like, if you're gonna be in their circle, like, you have to be the opposite of what they see in the other people around to make them however they are today. And so that's something that I always, keep in mind, that that's the truth. And we all have a past. Yes, we all have a past. And some people choose to disclose their past, and some people choose to not disclose their past. And also, some of our like bad decisions, or things that we wish we wouldn't have done, or decisions we wish we wouldn't have made, is like, hi from Puerto Rico? Hi. Is that PR? But yeah, some of the decisions that we wish we wouldn't have made is like, even if I smile, I'm very, okay, Puerto Rico. Hey, I wish I was in Puerto Rico right now. Ooh, I just want to see some water. People who you tell, like, something you did in your past, or something that you currently doing, and they like, Clarissa, and they like, oh, girl, nah, that couldn't be me, da 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 da. But if we talk long enough, it's a lot of stuff. Just live unapologetically, I'm living my life and make my mistakes, girl. I know that's right, Tara, because that's just part of living life. Like, and that's what I said, like, in May. I said, I'm just gonna be unapologetically me. Like, I'm just like, it ain't that it's good, it ain't that it's bad, it's just me. Like, and to not seek the validation or the people pleasing or whatever, is like, I'm not even, like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Like, but it's just me. Like, it's not nothing, to like not be ashamed of stuff. And so a big thing too, and part of personal development, is to say, okay, a decision I made, okay, it wasn't the best. I can't be shame to me, or feel ashamed about it, because when you break everything down, any decision that you make, whether it be good or bad, you made it as a decision based on how you was raised, based on what you seen, based on what you learned, based on what you heard. Like, you made a decision based off your perspective of what has happened since you were able to understand. So since you was able to, like, 3 or 4, maybe 4 is when you kind of remember, when you was 4 years old. Like, so based on, from your memory, whatever decision you made is based off of everything you learned. And so it's like, once I realized that, when people, would be like, I can't believe you did that. Like, I would never thought that you would be with this kind of person, or that you would, have said what you said, or whatever. And it's like, when I look back and I'm able to break it down, I say, well, why wouldn't I be with this kind of person? Like, this is what I saw, this is what I, experienced, this is what I've been through, this is my traumas, this is my joys in life, this is what I was trying to, go towards. So this person was perfect for whatever my mindset was at that moment, and it's like, so don't hold me to some kind of pedestal or whatever that I'm gonna make every perfect choice. And at the end of the day, it might not have even been considered a bad decision. It just was a decision. It just was a choice. And so, but our choices, like, nothing we do, if you really think about it, nothing, like they say, you have a choice, like everybody has a choice. Like, I believe that that's false. Like, when you really break it down, really no choice that we make is on our own accord. Even like when I was going live the other day and I was talking about how, like, I'm not a woman first, I'm a mother first, because once I had kids, I started to do things with my kids in mind. So now even my choice that I make of today is not my own choice. It's really me making a decision based off what will help my kids better. So now I'm not people pleasing to the world, but I'm more people pleasing to my children. Like, what will please them. And so, like, everything that we do, like, we really don't have our own choice. Yes, Nicole, like, we don't. So it's like, once people understand that, which a lot of people don't understand it, they say, you chose the wrong thing. I never think of myself first. Yeah, like, exactly. Like, when you a mom, like, you never think of yourself first. Like, even me going to the gym, that's partially because of my kids. Because I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I want them to be able to have an active mom. I want them to have a confident mom. Like, I want them to, for me to be able to do more things. I want to be here longer. I'm trying to have a business, and I don't want to just expand this business to be, $1 million, $1 billion business, and I'm riding and I'm, on a ventilator machine and have to get oxygen. Like, I want to experience all of this grind I'm putting in. And I can't do that if I'm unhealthy. Yeah, because you swung through here just a little bit too. Well, people be, honey. But so, like, even that decision is based off how I see my future, my business, my children. Like, even that choice is based off something. So we never really have a choice. Like, our hands are always getting pushed towards a certain way. Because if we had, now I won't say everybody, because there's some mothers who don't take on that responsibility as far as making choices based off the health, what will affect their kids in a healthy manner. But I would say that they make the decision based off of what they friends might think about them, that they want to be in a certain crowd. And so now they feel like a social relationship is better to hang in this certain crowd, whether it's bad for them or good for them. And so they don't care how it's affecting their kids. So they still not making a choice for themselves, because it's like, mentally, how our brains is made up is self-preservation. So you have to think like a person who got a drug problem, a person who start doing drugs, won't go get help, and different things like that. Like their pain is more comforting to them than going to get help. So now they're not even making the best choice. They're going against their own self, because our own self has self-preservation. We know if you do drugs, alcohol, all that stuff, eating unhealthy, it diminishes, it takes the years off of your life. And so for you to do something against that, you're choosing to, because your pain is more comforting than you progressing and being more healthy. And so even when you a woman and you an empath and you want to see the best for everybody, you have to also know that you can't help people who are comfortable in their pain, because they'll take you down too. And so that's a lesson within itself. Like, if a person finds comfort in their pain, if a person finds comfort in not being accountable, like, you can clear as day see that this person, every single situation they have, like a particular situation, they handle it the wrong way. And then when you as a friend or something try to bring it up to them, like, yeah, girl, like, I'm not, when we in public, I'm standing beside you. Like, you all the way right when we in public. But when we get on this phone and it's just me and you, I'm gonna let you know, like, yeah, girl, you crazy for that. And really, like, you know that you did that. Like, you shouldn't have did that. Like, I'm gonna let you know. Like, that's what kind of friend I am. Like, no, like, but you shouldn't have did that though. Now in public, they could be like, her friend just ride with her on everything, and even when she wrong, like, she know that she was wrong for that and stuff, and her friend right beside her and all that stuff. Like, that's because that's in public. I put myself first, but my first priority are my kids. Once I'm happy, my kids will be happy. Yes, yes. See, so like, that's another take too. See, so me, like, I put my kids' happiness first. And it's just innately and I would say, like, when I'm talking about decision or choices, that choice is not even mine. That choice come from trauma, to where me feeling like that choices that, my mom had made and different things like that was not putting me first. Like, she gonna put herself first. And so for that, is like, as a child, I felt sometime like abandoned, because I feel like she was putting her happiness first. I was taken care of. I had everything that I wanted, and different things like that when it came to material. But when it came to her, if her being out, if her being social made her happy, and that was something she want to do, then her spending the time with me, like, that was in second place, even though I had material, anything that I wanted. So now, as I grew, like, and I started having children, like, material or myself don't come first. Like, my children come first. Like, me, like, I done been in homeless shelters and everything. And that's because if my son called me and say, Mama, I need you right now, like, I'm just having a bad day, like, I'm about to leave that job. My kid need me. He come first. And me not thinking about it, yeah, it's a struggle. And so it's like, me not thinking about it, okay, a job ain't gonna keep on having you leave. And sometimes that I had to go because it was teachers calling me. The other times it was just because he called me and his voice sounded, so too sad or whatever, and I gotta go. And so my child need me, like, he come first. Like, and so, like, my kids know, like, even to this day, that, like, I drop everything for them. And so even now, like, I know that that's going to affect them in some kind of way growing up, because now they kind of have unrealistic expectations of people, that people are going to drop everything for them. And I have 3 boys. Once they get married, they might have unrealistic expectations on their wife, that their wife gonna drop everything for them. But she might be like, no, like, Tuesdays is my day to do my nails, to do my hair. Like, it's me, that what makes me happy, and I'm doing my self-care. Like, this is what keeps my mental health going. And one of my sons or my daughter could say, well, no, like, I needed you in this moment. Like, I really needed you to be here, and, like, you had your phone on do not disturb because it was your self-care day. And so I know that. So now, with my son being 14, like, and me becoming aware of that, because, like I said, every single day I'm learning new things about myself. And then I'm trying to process it. And so me knowing that, and me knowing like, okay, futurely, like that's not a bad trauma, but then that's still how somebody is being raised, and so that makes up who we are as a person. And so now I know that I'm putting unrealistic expectations on the thought process that you gonna make it happen. Like if the count is negative and I say I want this, like, and I know that, like, I haven't, like, my son know he haven't had nothing in a while or whatever, like, okay, it's time to get this business going. Like, it's time to really put the foot on the gas, and that'll give me more motivation than just something I should do it. And then I have all kind of clients and stuff like that, and it's like, and then I make it happen. And so it's like, now that's an unrealistic expectation to people when he get old, when he get grown and he's having relationships, because he gonna be like, my mama made it happen. Like, if she said she was gonna do something, she's gonna do it. And as you get older, as you get grown, you realize that people's word is not bond. And I can only, like, remember one time, like, where I was in a relationship and I didn't do what I said I was gonna do, and like it was kind of like a big blowout, like, in the relationship, because he was like, I can always count on when you say you're gonna do something, when you say like that you're gonna do it, like you're going to do it. And basically I'm just really let down, by you, because I just didn't feel like you really blindsided me, because you did something completely opposite on what you said that you was going to do. And like, I just always believe that when you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. And so my kids is the same way. Like, if we had to pack up and go to a shelter today, and I said, but we just here momentarily, we about to get a house, like, they would be fine in the shelter, because they would say, mama said this was just for a second, we about to be getting a nice house. And they gonna take my word and value. And so I guess it's a good thing for me to be a person of their word, because even with my ex, I feel like now, when I say hindsight is 2020, in a relationship, I really felt down about that. Like, I was like, dang, like, he right. But then when I evaluate the situation, yes, so they were trusting that. And so he's like, I don't want to set them up for failure, because they have to know that everybody's word is not mine. When people say they're gonna do stuff, 9 times out of 10 they not gonna do it. Like, a lot of people gonna let you down in life. Now, the people who you marry, or the people who is your best friend and different things like that relationship, like, if that's a characteristic you want somebody to have, don't focus on no looks or how much money somebody got or what they can do for you. Like, start focusing on their character first. And if the characteristic is you want this person to be a person of their word, like, then that's something that you look out for. You see how many times this person has let you down by what they said, and not based off of, I wanted something crazy for my birthday and they didn't do it, but did this person say, I know that I know that you wanted this extravagant party, like no other for your birthday, and I said that I was gonna take care of it, but I just really wasn't able to, but I did do this, and we're gonna do this, instead. I hope you can, forgive me. And they still try to do something like they was a person of their word. It just, the plans changed, but they goal and what they still did something for you. And so, like I said, even with the relationship, I felt like I wasn't a person of my word, because that person, made an uncomfortable environment for me to change my mind. So, or made an uncomfortable environment for me to speak my mind. So therefore, if my mind changed, I already knew my mind changed. I already knew I started feeling differently about what I said I was going to do. But if you make the situation uncomfortable for me not to be able to communicate it, well, then you get blindsided, because I'm not a confrontational person. And I'm not a conversational person. I'm really not a direct person. I'm working on being more direct, because just different personalities don't understand the beating around the bush, don't really understand the sarcasm, don't understand that I know that I could be a little bit passive aggressive sometimes, and that just comes with me not knowing how to be direct. And so I'm learning how to be more direct, to say, hey, I feel this kind of way. When you did this, it made me feel this kind of way. Like, and this is what I want. Like, you're gonna have to fix it. Like, that kind of direct. Not, yeah, I mean, I know things happen, and it's like not getting to the point. Like, get like, what's the issue? Because now you've been talking for 15-20 minutes, and I spaced out, and I really don't even still know what the issue is. And so now you can't be upset if a person do the same thing again, because you never really was direct. But once you have the conversation that said, on this day at this time, we sit down right here on this couch, and remember when I said so and so, so and so, so and so, and it was written out, and you replied back this, because I said this, that's when it was handled. So I don't expect for that. I didn't expect for it to happen again. Now you have an example of, or you have the actual circumstance or whatever events on when it was direct, when they responded. But when you beat around a bush a lot and you not direct, then you can't be offended, you can't be in your feelings when you're not getting what you deserve and what you want, even when it comes from your kids. Like, if I give my son long lectures, but then, like, I used to just give him lectures and that's it, and I left it up to him to sort out all the analogies and this long speech and all of this stuff that I'm not even taking into consideration, right, Nicole? I'm not even taking consideration that his brain may not work how my brain work. For one, his brain gonna work differently because he's a male and I'm a female. Even though I'm his mom and he's my son, I'm still a woman. So our brains are gonna work all the way different on how we process information. And so now I give a lecture, and the lectures are thrown in, but now I'm more direct. So when he do something now, he know exactly that it's wrong. When I want him to get better grades in class and all that stuff, he know that I want him to do that. Not just for school, not just so he can be able to get more money down the line, because he could say, well, I could be a YouTuber or I could be a gamer and get more money down the line. So that still don't help me with why you want me to go to school. I could say it's because I'm big and you small. Like on Matilda. I'm big and you small. I'm grown and you not. And if I'm sitting here paying all these bills for you to have a comfortable place to live, when you look in that freezer, do it got all the snacks and food that you want? Yep. When you look in that refrigerator, do it got all the snacks and food you want? Yep. When you open your drawers, do you got your PSD drawers that's $25 per boxer? Do you got Jordans up the wall? Do you got your TV in your room bigger than my TV? Game system, earphone. Do you got all that in your room? Yep. So the only thing that I actually do, I don't tell you to go get no job. I'm not pressuring you to go cut everybody's grass. I ask you to focus on school and to bring me good grades. Then thank you. So if I ask you to do this, the least you can do just to have a smile on my face, because right now I feel like you're using me. So you think I'm obligated to do all of this? Just always spoil. So I be like, do you think I'm not obligated to do none of this? Like, I'm obligated to feed you and clothe you. Like, you're not obligated to watch TV. You don't have to have a TV. Like, you're not obligated to have PSD draws that's $25 a pair. Like, my draws ain't even $25 a pair. You know, like, I get a whole pack for that much, or at least 2 pair. Like, you're not obligated to have all of this stuff. You could get you some Dollar Tree underwear. I can get you 5 underwear and wash those out every single week in the washer. As long as they clean, that's all you need. You don't need the bread. You don't need none of this. So I'm giving you all of this. In return, you need to give me good grades. I know that's right. In return, that's all I ask for you. And like I tell him, you 14 years old. As a man, you're a young man. As a man, you shouldn't even feel comfortable with your mama keep on having this conversation with you. Like, man. As a man, you about to be a man. So as a man, treat me how you want to be treated. And if I'm doing all this for you, how I want you to repay me is with a good report card. I want to be able to put that report card on my refrigerator. I want to be able to say, my son, he don't like school, he hates school. And I'm not even telling you to bring home honor roll, because that might not be for you. But I know that you better than F's, because I know how you read. I know I'm your mother, so I'm around you all the time. I know how good you read. I know that you're not really that good at math, but I know that you know how to express yourself. I know that you're a great storyteller. You have a beautiful imagination. So I know all of that. So when you bring me home a paper and you say the cat, and that's all that's on the paper, and I'm like, what y'all supposed to be doing in class? Well, we supposed to be writing a story that we made up, but I didn't know how to do that. You don't know how to do that? You know how to do that. And so I'm not taking anything less than what I know that you can give me. And so if I let you eat oatmeal every single day, because there's a lot of kids who have to eat oatmeal every single day, but me and the other kids is eating all of this good food, then you know that oatmeal every day is not the best that I can give you. I'm just making sure that your stomach is full. And so me and him, I had lectures, but I'm very direct. So he already know when he bring home that report card and it don't look how I want it to look, how I know that he can give me. And like I said, that's might not be honor roll for him. Now it could be, but I'm not even expecting an honor roll. I'm expecting for you to give me 1 to 10% better than what you're giving me. And so I'm not expecting for you to go all the way to jump from F's to honor roll, but I'm expecting for you to progress. I'm expecting if you say, Mama, I don't want to go to school in district, I want to go to school out of district, so I'm getting up early every single day to take you to school when you could be catching the school bus and go in district, but I allowed you to go out of district. And so I'm having to not only go drop you off, I'm having to pick you up. That's my gas. Like, I'm doing all of these added things because this is what you said that you really wanted to do when you was going to do better in this environment, but you doing worse. Okay, so guess what I did? He's enrolled in a school by the house. He will be catching a school bus. You could keep your PSD draws you got right now, because I balled out on him, and you can keep them, but you're not getting no more. I'll be going to Walmart and Family Dollar. It ain't nothing wrong with them underwear, but he just likes the graphic print on his. A lot of stuff gets back shut down to the basics. You get a regular nutritionist meal. You don't get, like, I give you a lot of things. I say, okay, we get this much money on our food stamps. You get $40 to put all what you want on there. So now you got your Takis, your donut holes, your pops. You got all of this stuff, and you can keep all of this stuff in your room. Like, don't nobody even touch your stuff but you. You got your Reese cup cereal, like all of this stuff. I don't even buy this kind of junk food, but you get your allotted amount. Okay, so now that's cut down to $5 or $10. So now you only get to choose 2 items. It's PSD like David. I don't even know PSD. I don't even know what it stands for, honey. Uh, don't give me the line. But a lot of girls or guys, like when they playing basketball, they roll up their basketball shorts, and you can see their underwear like at the bottom, and they have graphics on them. So he got some that got a smiley face on them. A lot of girls be wearing them, like the Instagram girls. They be wearing them just like in shorts. They don't even put nothing on them. So he got all kind of stuff. He got some that got dollar bills on them and like everything, because they supposed to be fashionable. But like I told him, we had to have this long talk too. I said, now before I got you these drawers, you said you wanted them just for you. But now I see that you want them for the girls and stuff too. And your sister, she only 3 right now, but do you think I'm about to let her walk around in a tank top and Daisy Dukes with her butt sticking out? Or with her butt out? No, we don't rock like that in this house. So I'm not going to keep on allowing you to show some of your underwear. So your pants need to be up. If your underwear come longer than your shorts, then you about to start getting longer shorts. Or you about to be getting shorter underwear. You're not gonna get underwear, but that's explicit. Like that's explicit for somebody to know what underwear you got on. And so, mama, you old fashioned. No, I'm not old fashioned. People be looking at kids, So it's like, you 14, you maturing, he's taller than me. So it's like, absolutely not. Even, your voice getting deep, all of that stuff, you hitting puberty, and you're not about to be walking around basically showing your underwear. Like, and so, or they want to cuff the shorts up so we're like it's creasing, and I'm like, absolutely not. Unroll them shorts. And so that's the thing right now with the boys. So when you go, like when I drop them off at school, all the boys looking that way. So it's like, mama, you being so old fashioned and stuff, like this is the style. I'm like, some styles just ain't gonna come in my household. I'm sorry. Some styles are just not for you. Like you just won't be able to go in some kind of styles and trends. Like you just won't. And so I want you to be able to concentrate. And you at school trying to show off your shoes and your drawers and your hair, and just the girls just won't leave you alone. They just all on you, and I'm having to keep on coming up to the school saying, if he touched a girl, y'all will be calling the police. Exactly, y'all will be calling the police or saying sexual harassment if he's touching the girls. But these girls are touching him, and y'all keep on like basically brushing it off y'all shoulder. Like, and so I need these little girls to like leave my son alone. Yeah, that's not what school for. Exactly. So I'm like, you going to get too much attention. Like you going to be a whole clown, and that's why your paper said the cat and nothing else, because that's the only thing you wrote down. And so when people see you, it's party time. So I said, do you want to be back homeschooled? Because you was, I just need to be around people. And so that's the thing of raising a son with a mother that communicates a lot and knows how to kind of express herself, a good enough bit. Like I know how to express myself a good enough bit when he's been brought up by me. So he knows how to express himself. He knows how to manipulate situations. And so, the only reason why he went back to school, because he's like, I'm just feeling kind of down and depressed. Like, I think I need to be around people. Like just being constantly just staying home and not being around my peers, it's causing me to be kind of down. Like I know that I would do better, if I was in school. Do you think he will fix it clothes the way the other boys do when you drive off. Well, last year I alerted all the teachers. So because like I found out that he was putting whole nother clothes in his book bag, and how he was looking when I dropped him off and when I picked him up was not how he was looking during school. And so all his teachers was on alert. And since I'm a very, like, I guess, in tune mom, which is, it's a good thing, but the downside about it is the teachers over inform you. Like, they just so happy that a mama or a parent is in tune with their kids nowadays, that they like over inform you, because I guess parents are really not as in tune with their kids like they should be anymore. They worried about everything else. And so, like, I would just get over informed about everything. And then, like, just not even the clothes no more, just every single thing. And I'm like, well, what's going on in your classroom? Because the only way he could get up and entertain is if he got somebody to entertain. So who is being entertained? Or the only way, or if he does this, that's not him. Like, I know my son, even the stuff he try to hide from me. So the stuff that he's saying or doing, like, who else in the classroom saying this or doing this? And it's like, oh yeah, we know we have some problems. And it's like, yeah, so why you calling me? Did you call their parents? And it's like, well, yeah, parents are hard to get in touch with these days. It won't really do no good. But yeah, don't put him underneath a spotlight or a heat lamp just because. I used to do it. That's the reason why. See, I never did that, but I went to school. When we talk about our school age girls, I went to school with girls who did that. And so, because I would just be like, yo, mama let you do that. They wait till they come to school and like cut their pants all the way up to Daisy Dukes and had the little ruffles, and I just cut their shirt, to where it would be a crop top. And so they would be just walking around in school like about to be getting sent home and all that stuff, and their parents getting called and stuff, and they'd be like, put on your, like, that would be not the clothes that she had on when she left. Like, she would be changing it, or she would be making her clothes when she got there. So I went to school with them girls. But yeah, because he definitely was. And I was like, it's crazy how, like, the introvert, not popular mother has an extroverted, everybody waiting to see him son. Like, all the stuff that irritated me with boys, like the boys that was like him that irritated me, like, why can't you just, like, why do you gotta have all eyes on you all the time? Like, I end up having that son. I'm glad my daughter wear a uniform. Yeah, so he mad because he thought that I was playing and that he was able to go out of district again this year like he did last year. Nope, uniforms. You're going in district and you have to wear uniforms. And so he's like, well, at least I still get to wear, my nice shoes or whatever, and show my hair or something like that. I'm just like, whatever, float your boat to make you sleep well at night. You didn't even have to say that to me. If that one helps you cope and helps you sleep better at night, that you get to wear your shoes, that's good. But other than that, you will be having uniforms. And I know this school, they don't play, so they're not gonna go with you trying to, because he don't sag. But what he used to do is, like, pick any kind of moment to, like, be in or to adjust himself so he could just show that he got these drawers on. Because like I said, they $25, and they like the Instagram, they like the real popular underwear. So it's like, for you to have that, like, you just don't have regular underwear, you're the it person. And so I'm like, I had to study what these drawers was. I just thought they was, some more kind of drawers. I didn't know they came with a whole kind of persona to him, basically. So you gotta be like, okay, so now I know what I didn't got myself into, and I didn't even know that I got myself into it. And since he don't really like much or a lot of expensive stuff, like, or he don't really have that many interests, the stuff that he interested in, I try to, pour into my son. So I know he's always been interested in fashion. Like, he want his own clothing line and stuff like that. And so like y'all see, I'm trying to get into my fashion. But so I try to, keep him up to date. I wouldn't care if the president was on the draws. I'm not spending that much money. Man, I was like, well, he was like, I got a deal. I got a on Honey or something. How you download the app and be having what's the name? Nicole, we had to wear uniforms, but we will fold the waist to make it short and lower the socks in the shoes and do a hair comb over it, then fix it before we went home. See, Tara, so I didn't do none of that, but that's what he was doing. So when I picked him back up, he got on his long sleeve little flannel collar shirt. Like, he just back looked regular. But when I'm dropping him off, he a whole thug. Like, he a whole sex symbol up in there or something. And I'm like, and so the teacher was like, well, no, he's pop, he's a very handsome boy. He's popular with the ladies. And I'm just like, this is just, it's just, like, because I always be having problems with him with girls. Like, I've been having this problem with him even when he was younger. You gonna have me lurking. And look, I said, I've been through my 14-year-old, so they definitely do be changing their clothes. And they switch their whole personality. So you know them as a certain way. When they go to school, some of these kids be completely different. So he the entertainer, anything that he didn't see on YouTube, he embodying that when he go to school. So he trying to do the Riz, and all kind of stuff. Yes. So yeah, he's trying to do the Riz. I'm about to be getting off here. I've been on here for almost 2 hours. I gotta go home and eat. So he be doing the Riz, and the Riz is basically like what we call your game. And so, if a dude got good game, thank you, Tara. Your son is very handsome. He is a mess. He is a mess, honey. And so that's him. Like, he been flying by his looks for a long, like, forever in school. And it's like every single teacher always says, he's handsome. We wish he just would listen, and they give him more time for his homework. Like, they do anything, like, and so that, like, his looks, what I could see gonna be a problem, because like, he think he can get anything because of his looks. Like, even growing up, because he had dreads. Like, he had dreads or locks before it was real popular. Like, that's how, like, I never had cut his hair when he was born. I just ended up dreading him up. So his dreads ended up almost coming, or they came to his waist. And so, even like when he was in first and second grade, like, he would be coming home with money. He would be coming home with treats. Like, if we go to a grocery store, like, it would be, okay, he had this. Oh my God, he's so handsome. I remember when we was on Ava Live, I had told you that, like, these two girls had followed us around Family Dollar, like, grown women. They was probably in their 20s, but he was like, I don't know, maybe 5 or something at the time, because I don't think he was in school. And they kept on following me out to out, and I was noticing it, but I really wasn't, noticing like that. Like, it's two girls walking, they probably looking for the same thing I'm looking for. And they end up doing a whoop and came in and was in front of me coming down the aisle, and was like, both of them was like, all giddy, like, we just want to let you know that your son is just so handsome. Oh my God, he's so handsome. I think I might wait for him until he turned 18. I'm just like, girl, bye. And I'm just thinking, like, like that's just been a thing, like with people following us around, and girls at school, like basically them saying that he being distracting because the girls can't concentrate on him because he's so like entertaining and he talking to them, and like so he messing up their concentration. I'm like, y'all not gonna blame my son for communicating. They don't have to communicate with him. Like they could ignore him. Like they could ignore him. They don't have to engage in his conversation. And so, how they say everybody else might think your crap don't stink, but you my child, so it stink to me. So everybody else might be letting you get away with all of this stuff because of your looks and that you an extrovert and all that. But for me, okay, that was weird. Yes, Nicole and Tara, I was like, and that was when he was 5. I never had experienced that before. Like, I've always experienced, people giving him money and giving him treats and stuff. Like even when we in the grocery store, like buying him treats, and I had just seen him looking over at me, and his eyes are just so cute, and he has the longest eyelashes and stuff, and like people will come out the blue. I'm checking out, and I just seen your son look over at me. His eyes are just so gorgeous. He has the longest eyelashes and the most beautiful hair. I bought this candy bar for him. Can he have it? And so I dealt with that all the time. But the women like following us, like, and these, like I said, was two black chicks, like in they like younger 20s, like I was just like, y'all been following us. I've been noticing that y'all been following us around the store. I didn't really, like I said, I thought they could be looking for what I'm looking for. To actually go out their way, like where something was like where you just like it was just in your spirit so much that you had to make sure that you stopped us before we headed out the door. And that was just crazy to me. Yeah, I had never experienced that. But so he'll be in uniforms this year, and I told him I'm a person of my word. I want you to be a man of your word. So your word is to, have these kind of grades and get up for school and, all of that. Cause like my dad's like, you shouldn't still be having to wake up him in the morning and make sure his clothes is out. Like you shouldn't be having to do all that. Like he's 14. Like he should be up before you even get up. And, he should have his own clothes out. Like, you shouldn't be having to do all of that. And so we got all this, down in our agreement. And like I told him, I want you to be a man of your word. Like, you could be cute all day, but that don't mean nothing if you not a man of your word. Like, if people can't trust nothing you say. And so I always tell him, like my grandma told me, 2 things you don't want to be known for is a liar or a thief. And when you so much stop being a person of your word, you end up being a liar. Like you just saying stuff to appease people and to get people out your face, but you already know you lying to them. And so 2 things you don't want to be known for is a liar or a thief. Like you don't have to steal nothing, and you don't have to be lying about nothing. Don't lie to me. And so yeah, so we sit down and we have real direct conversations, because I'm a single mom, and like I said, he 14, but that's only 4 little years until he 18. And it's so much stuff going on in the world that's being pushed on our kids through social media. It's like you can't be sugarcoating nothing. You got to get real down with your kids, especially when they reach that age where they start to smell themselves because they voice getting deep and all of that stuff. And you got to let them know what it is. And you got to really have those real conversations. So he was like the people on YouTube will call me something they got a different word for everything now, girl. But they was like the people on YouTube will call him something because of basically how he talks, how he communicates with me, and like everything, like if something good happened, in his life at school or whatever, like I'm the first one to know. He was like, so people who got like best friends, like as they mom and they a boy, they call like it's like a mama's boy, but it's called something else. And I was like, that's what you're supposed to have. Like you can have it with your daddy, but he just not a good person to communicate with. But I was like, you don't. And I try to tell him, you don't know where people is speaking from. You don't know where people is operating from. The person who became popular to put a label on this as a bad thing could be a person that did not have no relationship with neither one of their parents or a guardian or anybody to speak to. And so they made people out who had that bad people. It's like if a person who grow up with money, they make people who grow up wealthy like bad. Like when you grew up with not having money, like you look at rich people as being bad people. And it's like, no, they're not bad people. You just can't afford what they can afford, but that's just material. And I was like, so you have to always be mindful. And then he was like, oh yeah, he did say that he grew up in foster care or whatever. I said, yeah, so I'm trying to teach you discernment, and I'm trying to teach you to be aware. And so we have whole days. We have like whole days where we sit and watching TV, and it could be like different skits or something. Not even skits. It could be like real, like on YouTube where they going up to people and people saying this or whatever. And I was like, why you think they said that? And he would say, because of this. And I'm like, no, they said that because this is what you don't see. This is the behind the scenes of a person who think like that. And so we'll go like one by one. We'll pause it and say, what you think they gonna say for this answer? And he won't get it right. And I say, no, they gonna say this, watch. And then he'll play it and they say something like it. And he's like, how you know that? And I'm like, because like you could just tell by the appearance. Like, so you could tell by a person's appearance. And we say don't judge a book by your cover, but your cover does say a lot to people, because how you present yourself allows people to know like what you really care about, what you put stock in. So me, like, coming out here without my hair being done, like my hair be a hot mess sometimes, no makeup on, like whatever, people could say, okay, she not really into fashion, she not really into her looks, she too busy, she taking care of everybody, but she not putting stock in taking care of herself. You can tell her self-care is lacking, and she a people pleaser and different things like that. And so when it comes to an answer, without me even saying something, you can be able to say like, or if you watch my videos, just like if y'all watch me talk, and it could be a question written down, and I could say my perspective. You don't even have to play the video. You can start to guess what my perspective is going to be based on how I've been talking, based on maybe how like if it's something with dressing, based on that, because you can see how I dress, like all of that. You could base already my answer based on how I present myself and how I already communicate. And so I've been teaching him this. I've been teaching him how to have like discernment, and how to be mindful of the hidden agendas of people and why people might do certain things. And so even with him, wanting to be liked, that could be because you was homeschooled, could be because I got little kids and you don't really have too many people around your age, and so you always feel the need to go over and above because the people you on YouTube and who you fascinated with go over and above, like they just outrageous. And so you could be mimicking that thing, you could be mimicking their behavior, thinking that you're going to I guess, experience whatever they experiencing that you really like, that you really infatuated with right now, but you don't know the behind the scenes of stuff that you might see material wise, or the happiness and the smiles that people have, like behind the scenes. You don't know, like, that the person who is that look like the most loved and who always got people around them and all of that stuff can't pick the phone up and call people when they having a good day. So this person, has to always show and flaunt what they have, because that's the only way they can get, people to be involved with them by their material and how they acted, and the people they bring, or the environments they end up in, or whatever, that's good environments. People hang with them because of clout. And so you don't know behind the scenes, this person might be dealing with a lot of depression, or feeling unwanted or anything, because of people not really accepting them for just them, the bare raw them. They're only accepting them for what they attach to. And so yeah, we go through that. And because I just believe that discernment is learned. You have to study on how to have discernment. You have to know how to actually listen to your gut and your instinct, because I believe we all have that, and we all know, like, but sometimes you don't know what that is. Like, sometimes you could be calling it the bubble guts. Sometimes you could be calling it, oh, I got butterflies. Oh, I think I was having a slight anxiety attack. Oh, oh, my heart just felt kind of like it was beating too fast. Like, all of that stuff, a feeling, but you don't know what that is. And most of the time, like 99.9% of the time, that's discernment. That's telling you that's your innate self. Your spirit said that you shouldn't be doing something that you're doing, but you're doing it anyway, because the excitement is having you have butterflies. And so now butterflies is seen as a good thing, which most of the time, even in relationships, 99% of the time, the people who gave you butterflies is the people who did you the worst. And so, yeah, so we talk about all of that. Like, I always say, like, even like my little cousin today, who I was talking to, who's 20, and I was calling her to talk to my sister. My sister is over there with her, and she's 19. And so I had told them that it's so much things that I wish that I would have known, that I wish I would have known growing up, but I didn't know and I didn't learn, because the people around me didn't know, and they didn't take time out to self-learn. And so anything I know, I want to pour out into you, whether, my son, my YouTube, my sister, my cousins, anybody I could pour out to, I want to pour out to, because I never, like I told her, I never want it to be an instant where you saying that a person didn't tell you that and you didn't know. You could actually say, I actually knew better. Like, my cousin, like, she used to tell this stuff to me all the time, but I just made a different decision, and I just did something completely opposite of what she said. But she always said this. Like, I used to just be like thinking that her head was in the clouds, or my mama used to always give me this lecture. And in school now, he's the my mama said boy, and so I had to, like, he like water boy. And so every time the teacher is having like a lecture or talking about something, he's like, but my mama said, yeah, you're right, because my mama said. And so he's like that in school. And so usually, like, before I get on the phone, like, they like, oh yeah, we heard all about you. We, like, basically, like, they know some of my views, because they like, he's always saying, his mama said it. Yeah, we could tell, like, you really raising your son good, because he has definitely strong opinions. And if it's like, oh, my mama wouldn't do this or whatever, like, he just be like, no, my mama said, no, that's wrong, and we gonna do this, and this is, and so he's really like that in school. He's like, my mama said. And so, like, now I'm teaching him, like, communication, that, like, you can have your opinion, and also respect of somebody else's, how they're teaching. Like, even if that might not be right, based off of their teaching stuff because they haven't healed or whatever. So now they teaching a class, or they teaching from their perspective. Let's just say that they teaching from their perspective. Like, you can't just rebuttal and disregard what they said and say your mama said. Thanks, Tara. That's very good. At least you know he listening. Exactly, exactly, Nicole. Thanks, Tara. She said that's good. I was like, so when cause he always, when he be able to say something that I said, and like the teachers is like, that makes good sense. Your mother is a very smart woman. Like, and then he comes home, he's so excited, like, Mama, I gotta tell you what we was talking about today. Like, it could be anything. Like, it could be they was having a lecture on Bitcoin, like, because I'm just versed. So I like to be educated on everything. And I go and I, talk. We have our talks on stuff I learned or whatever. And, you just sit down and we always talking. And so he'll come home and tell me what he said, and it'll be what I said verbatim. Like, it'll be what I said, like, word for word. But the thing is, when we talking, he don't be like, he just be there. Like, he might be looking at TV, he might be not paying, like, I think he not paying attention. But now I know that he actually is listening. Like, he don't listen like this. Like, he don't listen making eye contact and like agreeing. Like, he listen playing basketball. He very active. Like, he's very, very hyper. He is diagnosed with ADHD, but even like the medicine, like, he's just a very, very hyper. He's been hyper like that forever. And so he still be playing basketball, whatever. And I'm like, oh, so I said, so I'm like, oh, so you was listening to me? And he was like, yeah, you remember we was that day we had dropped the kids off, and we had to go pick up the kids, and we was in the car, and you remember, like, because it was a song on the radio, like, his memory is some stuff. He be like, Mama, you remember when we had went to this place and we had went, over our cousin's house, and you remember our cousin, like, her blinds was green and yellow. Like, he remembers everything. And I'm like, what cousin? And he was like, I was real young, Mama. I think I was in 3rd grade, and my teacher's name was so-and-so, so-and-so. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah. And he remember everything. And so he'd know the exact moment when we had the conversation and everything. And I would be like, so next time, can I get some energy a little bit? Like, because I was talking and you was bobbing your head to the beat. Like, I didn't know you was paying attention to me. Next time, can how you excited right now for your mama giving you some knowledge? Can you be excited like that when I'm giving it to you? Can you be excited like that when I'm expressing myself and lecturing you? Can you say, yeah, Mama, that was real nice. Like, oh, I didn't know that. Can I get some of that too? And so I don't want to these windows off my car. But yeah, so I be joking with him and stuff with that, because I'm like, I didn't even know you was listening at all, because you was bobbing your head. You was, oh, Mama, this is my song, and you was doing everything but actually paying attention to what I'm saying. And so yeah, that little boy's something else. So with him, I always try to, when you a mom with kids that are spread apart in age, with him, like, I know that he needs that me and him time. Whether we go out to eat, with just me and him, whether we sit, he had me watch all the way straight. He would have me watch Stranger Things all the way up to season 3. Now, I could not watch season 4 because it started being too scary. But he's trying to force me to watch season 4. He's like, Mama, but if I just stop it where the real scary parts is, like, can you watch it? And I'm like, no, because I know what it is now. All that stuff is like demons and all. Like, it just, if you messed up, put me in the mind of the movie Body Snatchers when I was a kid, and Body Snatchers was very, very scary to me. And that's basically what season 4 of Stranger Things started being like, and that's very, very scary to me. So that's traumatizing. Like when I was younger, I was scared to go to sleep because I thought that something was gonna be underneath my bed and change my body around. And so so yeah, so I stopped. So I was like, I can't watch no more of this. Like it didn't got too scary in season 4. So he kind of upset about that, but that stuff bring back memories. Like that stuff bring back memories. And my auntie used to torment me and think and act like that basically the thing was underneath my bed and it was gonna body snatching me when I went to sleep and all kind of stuff. And so I don't watch scary movies at all. And so with that movie, I remember when Body Snatchers like came out, like I was real young. Like I was real young. And I just something about that movie of just knowing that people went to sleep and they woke up and they basically their soul was different and they was different people and stuff. Like it wasn't really them, they were just a shell. Like that just I could watch all kind of scary movies, but when it comes to like people changing and not being who they are, or somebody taking their soul, or them getting possessed, or something like, I can't watch them kind of movies. And so that's what Stranger Things end up turning into be. And so I'm like, absolutely not. When someone dies, do you ladies get scared of the spirit? No. I mean, I don't go to funerals. Like I can't. I've only been to like 2 funerals. I really can't go to funerals. Like my body can't just handle it. My spirit can't handle it. Like I just feel it. And so like when somebody like passed away and everybody around is like just crying and sad, like I real sensitive to my spirit, so I really feel like everybody's pain. And like it, like even like I feel like I have to be strong. I can't cry. And like so the last funeral I went to, I was 17, and was my cousin's funeral, and she was like my second mom. And like I wrote a poem and stuff for her funeral, and it just was real hard on me. Yes, I'm very scary when it comes to that. Yeah, but I don't feel like I don't get scared of their spirit, because I feel like when it's my family or something, like I just feel like they watching, like that's one more spirit like watching over me. Like that's one more yeah, like a ghost spirit. Like I don't, because I just feel like that's one more person guiding me. That's one more person watching over me. So I don't really get scared. Like I feel more protected. Now, yeah, I feel more protected. Now, if it's some, like I would never move into a house where like a bad person got killed or something really bad happened, because I would feel like their spirits will cause like just negative things to happen in the house. Like I would feel like that. But like y'all, when somebody passed away, like I look at it as now like their third, like they can be somewhere protecting me that they wouldn't be able to be in the physical form. If a person is living in the physical form and I'm about to get into an accident, and this is the person who always got my back, or who family oriented, all of that stuff, like then I could just get into the accident if they still here. But I feel like if I'm about to get into an accident and then I just, for some reason, my wheel move, a certain kind of way, or I'm just like, it should have been a real bad crash, but it doesn't be. I'll be like, wow, I know they protected me. Like I know that was so and so who came and probably made me turn my wheel, or they put an extra strength behind my wheel. Like, so I just look at it now, because they can be everywhere. How like, God is everywhere. Now, if they in a spiritual form, they can be everywhere. They can be saving me from my car wreck. They can be saving another family member from their baby choking on something. They can be, sitting down consoling somebody, another family member who crying. So I just feel like, wow, that's another angel. Like I really feel like that's another angel. Like they protected me. Like I feel like if something bad or somebody doing me wrong and this family member passed away that was always ready to where they at and put their shoes on, I feel like if that person start having a bad day or whatever, I'd be like, that's one of my angels protecting me because they knew that I'm not direct enough or aggressive enough to handle that situation and they handled it for me. Like that's really how I be feeling. I miss my grandma, but I don't want to see her spirit. And so yeah, like I don't want to see anybody's spirit. I don't want to see anybody deceased. And so that's why I don't go to funerals as well. I want to remember the person how they were when they was here, because like I said, my cousin who was like my second mom to me, like the vision, like the image of her like being in a casket, like really messed with my mental health, because I'm so used to her being life with a party. I'm so used to her cussing you out. I'm so used to her just, she was a person with no filter. Like she was a person with no filter at all. She was a person who could put my mama in her place. You know, when everybody else like be intimidated to say stuff to my mama, she the one who could be like, girl, don't you talk to her like that. Like she the one who, and then my mama just be like, girl, you know, and then but she wouldn't talk to me like she would, you know, be like, well, you take her to your house then. And she'd be like, girl, come on, get your stuff. You don't need nothing. Should we get some we get some White Castles? Like she the person who like, and she like, you need some money, girl? Nah, I'm about to fake this injury and we about to get some. I'm gonna tell them it was a hair in my food. And like she was just that person, like always getting some kind of free meal. Like girl, always slipping at a store. Like, oh my bag, oh I'm about to get this lawsuit. Like, but a good person. Like she just feel like the companies had money, so you could get money from the companies. Like, but we poor, so she the person who uh girl, you know, somebody come over and they baby ain't got no Pampers and they broke. Girl, come on, we about to go to Walmart. We about to go get you some Pampers. And she'll go, you know, thrift those Pampers or whatever. Shit, my baby gonna have some Pampers. What you need, some formula? Like, psh, honey, like I said, she passed away when I was 17 years old, and like I said, she was like my second mom. Like she just was everything to me. She was everything to me, and it's like that with her passing, because it was like a sudden passing, like it was like literally she was here one day and gone the next. It was like that had really put a crack in my spirituality, and I had to get it back healed, because I was like, if a God, how would you allow a person like her, like this person could make anybody laugh? Like, and then her mom passed away, which was like my second grandma. She passed away a few years ago, and she passed away a few years ago, and that was just like everything to me. And so Ava, like I told my mama, I said Ava remind me of my cousin who I consider my second mom, and she passed away at 42 years old. And so Ava reminds me of her. Just like say whatever you know, say whatever, like no filter, but like the sweetest heart. But if you did something wrong to her, like she pretty much like F you, like she don't care. Like, you know, she the kind of person that says, I don't care if the baby come out bald headed with one eye, like, or I hope, you know, like she'll be just saying crazy stuff. Like if you do something to hurt her or like her family, like she really just was like, don't care don't care nothing about you at all. But if she love you, like she love you, like she gonna risk going to jail for you. She gonna be ready to fight for you. She gonna be ready to beat some dudes up for you. Like she gonna cuss somebody out from head to toe for you. And her mama, which I can only watch her so much, but Miss Holla, who be on Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff, the older lady who passing away from, she hasn't passed away yet, but she's sick from cancer. Like her mama was Miss Holla. And so it's like those kind of people, they're irreplaceable. Like it's nobody like those kind of people. And so it's like her mom, which was like my second grandma, was like Miss Holla, and so I couldn't go to her funeral at all. Like it's just unbelievable. But she a person who, just ready to, even when she had a stroke, and the first words, because she couldn't really talk, and the first words she started to talk and say clearly was cuss words. And I'm like, so we used to always be clouded on her saying, you can't even talk right, but you know how to say them cuss words. And she'd be like, yeah, because I cuss them out. And like all of that, like those kind of memories, like that's the memories that I want. Like those kind of, her got her cane, and she had a whole man and everything, and this man, gave her his check, like he would do everything for her, like rub her back, everything for her. And she'd be, girl, don't you sit there and get mistreated by no man. You better, F them. The best way to get over an old man is to get out of a new man or whatever. These men is disgusting. Don't waste your time on them. Like, these men are disgusting. They so nasty. They a F a cat if ain't nobody looking. They a F that cat and lift up that cat tail if ain't nobody looking. Girl, don't you cry not one bit. And I mean, you better stop it right now. And so that's just, how she was. Like this old, like she ready to cuss somebody out. She ready to like everything, but like the sweetest person ever. Like I remember being at my cousin's wedding, and she's a diabetic. She's a real bad diabetic. Like I don't know how many insulin shots she took a day. But she used to get mad because my cousin, who was taking care of her granddaughter wouldn't let her have like food and stuff, and she used to be just sitting there just mad and upset because she couldn't have like ranch dressing, and like she couldn't have nothing because it would spike her sugar. Like I think she took like 2 insulin shots a day. But she would just be like, every time my cousin would like, put some on her plate, she would look down on it and be like, I don't want that shit. Because she couldn't open her mouth up all the way no more because of her stroke. She was like, I don't want that shit. And that's the shit is the only thing that you could really hear clearly. And then like one of her arms, it didn't straighten all the way because she didn't want to go through physical therapy. She's like, it hurt. I don't want them people bending on me. She said, I tell you, you touch me again, I'm gonna put this cane up your ass. And so the people like, she can't do physical therapy because she always giving the people issue. So one of her arms was like, couldn't straighten up. She used to just push her plate over. I don't want that. And she'd be like, you making a mess with the food. Well, you eat it. Go tell your daddy to eat it. I don't want that shit. Go give it, and she that was just her. So like I could not go to her funeral. I want to remember all of these good memories that I remember of her, and not her in a casket, because those kind of spirits, like I said, I can't be scared of those kind of spirits because those kind of spirits don't die. Like you could take the physical, but you can't take that spirit, because it's making me laugh right now. It's making y'all laugh right now. So no, I'm not scared of it at all. Like, if somebody say something to me and then I just start walking off because I'm not confrontational, and all of a sudden they just trip or whatever, I be like, there she goes. She must have stuck that cane out on their ass. She stuck that cane out. I'll be in my car cracking it like, ooh, she stuck that cane out on them. I already know that was her, because that's something that she would do. That's something she could do or whatever. And so like, even like I said, my cousin, who was her daughter, who I consider my second mom, like when I be seeing Ava and stuff, I like, man, Ava and my cousin, they would have had a good time, honey. Like she was a big girl, but she always like had her glitter on. She's like, gotta perk the boobs up, and all that stuff, and have her glitter on her chest and all of that, and have her Vaseline and her legs all glistened up. And honey, I'm about to go sit at a bar, and she be sitting there because she was a big girl, BBW, but she ain't had no trouble getting no man, and she all had confidence, and she never like was like, I wish I was smaller. You never heard my cousin say nothing about no diet. Like she wanted to eat, so she never said nothing about no diet or whatever, because she was still pretty and all of that, and she just had her confidence. And but she just she'll suffer from real deep down dark depression, and she just always didn't want to be here. So the only reason why I went to her funeral, because she had told me one day that she know that she not gonna be here one day, and she know it's gonna be soon. And because I was telling her, I was young too, like I said, she passed away when I was 17. So I think we had this conversation when I was like 13 or 14. I think I was like 13. And I was telling her how I don't like to go to funerals, like, because I feel everybody's spirit. Like, I'm really sensitive to that, and it keeps me up, and like I can't go to sleep for like weeks. Like, I feel everybody's energy from a funeral, and so I don't like going to funerals. And so she was I think she was taking out my micros, because I used to get micros in my hair all the time. She's taking out micros, and she was like, "You old heifer." She turned my head. "You old heifer. Well, if I die, you better come to my damn funeral, or I'm gonna hunt you in your sleep. You ain't gonna never be able to go to sleep." And I was like, and she was like, "And you better dance too," because that was her thing. She always used to be like, her mama used to be like, "I love you." Every time you did so, she like, I love you so much, I'm gonna dance at your funeral. I love you so much, I'm gonna dance at your funeral. And so she was like, "And you better dance too." And so I didn't dance, but I wrote a poem. And her mom always kept a copy of the poem, and she was like, "When you did that poem, it was so beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful. Like, I didn't care about what nobody else was saying. Like, everybody was up there, and I was like," this is what she doing. She was like, because she's, like I said, she's like Miss Holla for real. She's like, everybody up there. I'm like, "If you didn't even like her." I think she slept with your man. She was like, and then you came up there, and I was like, "I want to hear what she got to say. I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna be strong." She said, and it was exactly what I needed. And so she just, and so that just warmed my heart so much, because that was one thing that she had told me before she had passed away, is that me doing that poem at the funeral, like, really it was like the enlightenment of that day, because the day was so heavy. Yeah, when I say a whole bit, like, she is literally like Miss Holla. Like, so I watch Miss Holla. Sometimes I can binge watch her, but then afterwards, like, I just like really like just start like shedding tears, because I'm like, I had a Miss Holla. Like, I had somebody like that would. I'm just like, man, if she was still living, like, just to have them on my YouTube, like, y'all would not be able to go 2 seconds without like just crying, laughing, like just crying, laughing. And it's like, all that, like, that kind of person, that kind of person is unique. Like, you could find another intellectual person, you could find another person who encourages you, you could find that, but like, to find somebody who is just like, they were both unapologetically them before that actually was even a term or a movement or anything. They probably didn't even know what unapologetically mean, because they wasn't apologizing for if you did it and they did something bad, they meant to do it 100%. Like, nothing about it was an accident or to be apologetically for. And so if they cussed you out, and they cussed your mama out, your daddy out, they cussed your baby out, and tell her, "Don't you bring her snotty nose back to my house. She a crybaby. Get her off your titties. She's spoiled." So whatever they said to you, don't think the next day they gonna apologize for cussing you and your baby and your mama and your deadbeat baby daddy, and that's why he funky, and I heard he was in prison and probably getting effed in his A. And everything they said, they meant it 100% and was unapologetically. So, but if you got that cuss out, like, that wasn't like just that, a family did something and you got cussed out, or a friend did something. Like, if you got that cuss out, you already knew that cuss out, you really wasn't gonna be talking to them no more anyway, because they was off of you. Like, they only gonna go that raw if they really offer you, and like, you not gonna be able to do nothing. And so that's when you got people around you like that's that solid and that's real, it's hard to deal with fake and phony friends. Like, like people who can cuss you out the next day and then want to talk to you and act like it never happened, or cuss you out one day and then can act like it never happened the next day. Like that's so freaking phony and fake. Especially when I was raised around that, like where if you get cussed out like that, where like I really want to pull up at your address, you already know we not talking. You already know like the love is gone. Once there's really no love, like I'm not gonna fake around you. Like it's no faking. You're gonna know 100% that I really don't mess with you. Period. Like it's gonna be no, and you gonna be like, I'm not going over there. She do not like me. She don't like me. And even if you come with another family member, they gonna tell you, you keep your funky black ass in your car. You can come in, but she either gonna stay in the car, or she gotta go home. And you like, dang, do they hold on to grudges forever? They ain't gonna never forget. I said I was sorry. No, once you burn that bridge is burnt. It ain't no healing that bridge. And that's just how they both was, like cutthroat. But when it comes to somebody who they love that like hurt them, like they feelings are really, really hurt. Like they really depressed about like doing something wrong to somebody who they really love or that really love them. Like, and it's like they both had the biggest hearts, but baby knew how to cuss. I learned how to cuss from them. Everybody in the family learned how to cuss from them. Like kids learn how to cuss from them. They taught kids how to cuss. They taught, it was always funny and stuff when the kids be cussing. Excuse me. And so they were so unapologetically them that because they like lived together, so they were so unapologetically them that you knew when your kids came back to you, they was gonna know how to cuss you out, or you knew that you was gonna be getting a call from the teacher on Monday morning that they had been cussing the kids out all day, and you can't even discipline your kids because you know exactly who it came from. They been cussing all weekend, and they been cussing all weekend. It been a whole game and a whole everything. So when the teacher call you on Monday morning, you already gonna know it came from you dropping your kid off over there for the weekend. You know that your kid gonna eat everything they want to eat. Your kid got to watch any kind of scary movie. So now your kid don't want to sleep by themselves on Sunday night because they been able to watch all the scary movies you said don't watch. They been able to that's like my cousin who I call my second mom. Like she loves scary movies, and like I said, she was a BBW, but I remember her like it was me, all my cousins was together because she loved kids. So we used to always come over, have popcorn. Like she might not have everything, she might not have whatever, but she had love. So she gonna make a way. Like I said, she gonna lie and say it was a hair in her pizzas that she ordered 2 days ago, and she had a $60 order. So therefore, they're gonna be like, oh, we gonna redo your order. That's enough for her now to feed all the kids she got over there. She gonna go booster some clothes because one of the cousins' mamas was ratchet and didn't never do the kids' hair or nothing. So she gonna wash her hair. She gonna booster some barrettes. She gonna boost some clothes and some Pampers. And so we all gonna be good. We all gonna be happy, not knowing that she done pulled a whole bunch of crimes off to make us all happy. She done called her guy over that he want to rub the leg every once in a while, but he the cable man, and so she ain't gonna have him over right now because there's too many kids in the house, and she don't trust no man around kids because all men touch kids. So that's what she thinks. So all men touch kids, so she not gonna have no man in the house, but you hook up that cable. So we need you to climb up on that pole, and hook that cable up. So now we get all the movies that we want for free. Or she about to go to Blockbuster when Blockbuster was around. We ain't return those movies, so all the DVDs is in a Blockbuster case. And we all about to sit there and have a good time, watch scary movies all night. But why did she have the nerve to get up underneath between the mattress? Like, I don't even know how she did this on one side. like between the mattress. It had us get in the bed, and when we got in the bed, like we didn't know that she was in between the mattress, like she was calling our name, and it's time to go to bed, and we all getting in bed or whatever. Knowing it's like a little lumpy or what, I don't even know how she did. I think the box spring was broken on one side, so she could sit down in the box spring without it looking like somebody was in there. Girl, she started raising up the bed. And we all laid up there, girl. We all cried. I remember us all crying. I don't know how old I was. I was probably about 7. We all crying. We want our mama. Like, she scared the but Jesus out of us because she let us watch scary movies and eat pizza and popcorn and pop. We could drink pop. We could mess up the house. Like, it wasn't no stay in this. If you want to have a popcorn fight, we about to have a popcorn fight, a balloon fight. Like, she don't care. Like, it'll get cleaned up. Like, don't worry about it. But when I tell you, honey, when it was time for bed, it was time for bed. And she was calling out to us because she was a prankster. Like, she was a prankster before prank it was the thing. And so she was a prankster, and she sat in that box spring, but the mattress was flat. We got on that bed, and when I say we clicked up the lights, and the bed just started raising up, and it was her underneath that bed. What time is it? Let me get off of here. Oh man, I gotta get off of here. But it was her underneath that bed, honey, like scared the everlasting shit out of all of us kids. And like I said, we was young. We was probably about 7, 8. We wasn't no older than 8 years old. And it was all of us, because all of my cousins, we all about the like same age or younger. Like, I'm the second or third oldest, and everybody else starts coming under me that's younger. And so they like 5 and 4, and honey, like they don't want to come. They do not want to they do not want to go back to sleep. Everybody crying, and I'm like, in my mind I was thinking, even at that age, I'm like, you've been stressing for us to go to bed, but I don't think you really wanted us to go to bed. You wanted to scare the shit out of us, and now ain't nobody going to bed. Everybody, and I think half of the kids end up going home, and maybe that was her thing because the parents wasn't really trying to come pick us up. And so yeah, half the kids end up going home because they was just so scared they couldn't even go to bed. Like, she tormented them. And so for the kids who was real scared like that, my cousins who was real scared like that, I wonder if they still, like how I'm scared of body snatchers, like I wonder if they really still scared like that. Because oh my God, that was so funny. I supposed to have been home, so I guess I'll be eating. I'll probably still be eating at 7 or 8. But I was freaking like, yeah, we can't do stuff like that. Like I said, I was so young, but stuff like that, if a parent, parents down a sister, they would have been in call CPS. They been had her locked up, all kind of stuff. Yes, I enjoyed y'all coming. Thanks so much, Tara, Nicole, and Miss Aretha. I think you was the other one. I can't remember if it was somebody else. I know y'all 3 was definitely on my live. So I'm getting ready to go pick up my baby. I literally, like, this was such a good conversation. I said I was gonna come on here for 30 minutes. 30 minutes has turned into almost 3 hours. And now it's time for me to go get kids from school, get ready to go get kids from daycare. I do got some food already cooked, so that's a good thing because I just gotta warm it up in the microwave for me. And so, but yeah, thank y'all all so much for tuning in. Until next time, y'all. Bye. Enjoy your day too, Nicole.